In Dragon Kingdom 3rd School, Section 25 was having a profession awakening orientation. Here we meet our protagonist, Lu Fan. He was a person who transmigrated from our modern Earth into this world 3 years ago. During those 3 years, he gained a knowledge and understanding of this world. To survive and make his aunt's life better, he needs to awaken a combative profession. The teacher then finally announces that the awakening platform was made, and that the awakening ceremony is about to begin. All the students cheer and immediately left the classroom, leaving Lu Fan behind alone. Because of this, the teacher comes up to him to ask if something was wrong. He was the top student, so he shouldn't be worried at all. What an ominous jinx! Then suddenly, a system finally appeared in front of his eyes. This made him jump and run. After 3 years, he finally got a system. He goes to jump down the stairs to quickly go to the career ceremony. Finally, I was getting tired of the exposition. My voice is running dry. At the awakening platform, the principal and a priest was standing. Lu Fan did the classic inching to the front so easily you wonder how it's even possible. The students around him are talking about what profession they would get, maybe even a hidden combative profession. That would make them millions. I want millions too. The principal officially began the awakening ceremony and introduced the priest that would be hosting this year's awakening ceremony. Why a priest though? Is this another god thing? Everyone was captivated by the domineering aura of the combative profession of the priest. Wouldn't expect a priest to be a combative one, but as there were no support category, it made sense. Then the system screen appeared once more. Lu Fan has acquired the most powerful and most common ability of all transmigrated main characters, the appraisal skill. Lu Fan used the skill on the priest. He clicked on the priest's profile picture on his screen and the information popped up. There was a profession, a level, the skills, and even the net worth. What is that for? So random. Lu Fan was surprised at the amount. This is a currency like the spirit stones of Murim, right? If not, so random. The principal shouted for everyone to be quiet. The students all felt the pressure of his voice and they all quieted down. He will now be starting to call student names. Even with all of that, Lu Fan was still focused on the money. The first name was now called, it was this Nobody Zhang Tao, the top student of the section. I don't know. His attributes was one of the highest in the school. He was likely to be a combative profession. Now this guy looks so much like a punching bag that will be humiliated, and every reader would love to chop him into pieces and glorify his downfall. Anyway, the girls cheer him on, like duh, I get it, stop now. He started his awakening ceremony. The colorless rock started to glow a gold color. Then a spherical fire formed above it, taking the color away from the crystal and making a fireball. Everyone in the crowd was in awe. He awakened as a pyromancer. He does look like someone who would burn your house just cause you bumped into him. Lu Fan was also in awe. If he could also awaken a combative profession, he can say goodbye to his distressed life. More students came up to be awakened, only to be met with the weakest of weakest professions. A herbalist, a tailor for a buff bald dude at that, then a miner to a malnourished creep. Something might have been switched there. After a few more batches, it really did seem like the combative is a minority and subsistence to be the majority. Awakening as a combative signifies a limitless future, while a subsistence are destined for an ordinary life. One student said that such case was still a good outcome, or a better one, because there was a worse profession to get in certain situation. For example, Li Ping. Her family was already struggling and she got a reinforcing profession that was basically useless. She can't even be an ordinary person. She was useless, straight up. It was better to awaken a subsistence than a reinforcing when you're poor. The life of being poor truly is the worst. Lu Fan finally got called on the awakening platform. As he placed his hands on the crystal, there was no point being nervous now. He was now right there. Nothing will change what was about to happen. His awakening ceremony started. A giant eye then appeared on the sky. It sent shivers down everyone's spine, and even the ground shook from its gaze. The sky began crowded by clouds, and a single ray of light rained down upon Lu Fan. The dragon flew down from the sky and descended in front of everyone. The teachers were happy to have produced the first hidden profession of the school's history. The dragon once again flew into the sky and descended down to Lu Fan. The principal headed over to Lu Fan immediately and asked him about his profession. However, Lu Fan was gripping his lips as he replied that he was a dragon tamer. Everyone was in shock. The principal was too. that how could such a grand spectacle produce the most worthless profession? Oh, shut up, principal, this wouldn't be a story if it was useless in the first place. After the awakening ceremony. At Old Town Shanghai City, Lu Fan was walking back home, checking his status screen. On his screen was his profession, levels, skills, and 4 rows of question marks. Can we understand how he's level 10 already? Isn't that OP? People be so judgmental nowadays. Flashback to a few hours before at the awakening platform. Everyone was disappointed at the result of the profession he got. It was definitely a hidden profession, but it was useless simply because meager humans can't possibly tame the pinnacle of life forms. Well, this is the MC, he is the true pinnacle of life forms. Some students were curious as to why they were reacting so negatively to a very powerful sounding profession. But this is just exposition, just know their reactions are all valid. Dragons do be rare and powerful. How can a normal human ever tame such a being? If he was actually normal, that is. The principal pities Lu Fan, saying he might be able to still grow stronger if he tames a sub-dragon species. It was still a hidden profession with boundless potential. Oh, what a load of crap. Sub-dragon species are just ferocious, mindless beasts, incomparable to real dragons. In the 800-year history of the Dragon Kingdom, dragons have appeared, but not a single one who tamed a dragon. No matter how powerful humans are, they are nothing to dragons. Taming one was all just but a dream. Now back to the real time, he was still depressed about the events, scrolling his locked skills like when you are waiting for a response from someone who will never talk to you again. Anyway, after studying for 3 years, that was the end result he got. He felt sad not for himself, but for his aunt that worked so hard to support his education. Oh, you poor kind boy. While moping like a depressed teenager, I mean like a normal teenager, he arrived back home at the steamed bun shop of his aunt. He took a deep breath and prepared himself to act as if nothing was ever wrong. He entered, a huge open smile on his face. Great acting skill! Perfect timing, his aunt Han Kei was just getting done at preparing the food. She immediately jumped at Lu Fan to hug him. I smell incest, I don't know whether to like it or not, it could also just be simple fan service. But why you blushing boy, that's your aunt! Anyway, sorry about that. Han Kei dragged Lu Fan to the table and asked, how did the profession awakening ceremony went? What profession did he get? Based on the sad and depressed expression of Lu Fan, Han Kei reassured him that it was okay if he didn't awaken a combat profession. It would worry her too much if he was fighting every single day. Lu Fan was finally ready and told her that wasn't the case. He did awaken a combat profession. He was a dragon tamer. The catch was, he can't do anything without dragons. Then she goes for a back hug. Oh, come on. Wait, it could just be that they are close. My bad. I've seen worse, to be honest. Anyway, for Han Kei, it was alright if he was a dragon tamer without a dragon. Getting such a profession already proved that he was truly strong. All she wants was for him to go into college and she'll support it all the way. If he doesn't want that, he can just help with running the steamed bun shop. Anyway, Lu Fan dove into his bed, still heavily depressed like a normal teenager. He was thinking about his poor aunt. Only 26, yet already working so hard just to give him an ordinary life. Look at all those cuts, damn! If only he could tame a dragon, he could make his aunt's life so much better. He just needs a dragon. A dragon is all it takes. All it takes. But where would he even find any dragon? That is when his protagonist perk finally showed himself. Of course, by logic, a dragon tamer is worthless. But if you are a transmigrator with a system, then everyone else are the worthless one. The system that Lu Fan unlocked before was a treasure map system, and finally he got a daily log in treasure map. It was a divine level map too, it seems. It doesn't say it on the screen, but come on, it's gold. Lu Fan pressed the chest and we enter exposition. Get ready, cause this will be hefty. Just kidding, it'll be short. Treasure maps are classified into 4 categories. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, and divine level treasure maps. Using the system, you can combine 3 identical maps to increase the tier by 1. Every day, Lu Fan would receive a randomly graded and randomly located treasure map that was related to his corresponding profession. That was it. The system was his way. Duh. Lu Fan acknowledged that the dragon tamer profession really was worthless without a dragon. So now, with a system that can show him something related to his profession, that means it should could mean that it was definitely a dragon. If he can just have a chance to tame a dragon, he can be the strongest. This treasure map is practically his last hope. He opened the chest and a map showed up in front of him. It was Mount Shi Basin, not too far from Jianhai City. If he leaves now, he can arrive there early in the morning. Early morning came and Han Kei woke up to ready the shop, but then she saw a letter on the table. It was Lu Fan's farewell as he was about to get to his only chance to change the fate of his worthless profession. He will return, and when he does, he can turn their life upside down. Lu Fan finally arrived at the outskirts of Mount Shi Basin. Suddenly, a huge man intentionally bumped into him. That man is so tall, he's just missing green and he could count for the Hulk. Then a pink-haired girl appeared. Already know she's annoying, bitchy, killable, annoying, and did I mention that she's a bitch? Anyway, Lu Fan backed off and grabbed onto his weapon. He was ready to fight for his life, but like, dude, why do you have so much luggage on you? He really is a beginner. Man is too prepared for nothing. Hope I eat my words later for this statement, but my hopes ain't high. Then a creepy old man appeared behind him asking if he wants to join them. His face is so wrinkled and dry, a cactus probably drinks more water than his face. Lu Fan is now troubled. These people could be dungeon raiders. He can't handle them at all. I mean, look at them. A buffed tank, a bitch, and a humped-back gremlin. This is really worrying Lu Fan. By the looks of them, they might be experienced and have been robbing materials for quite a long while already. They can deal with him easily. Then the fish out of water asked once again if he finished thinking about his offer. Damn, he really looks ugly. He looks like a piranha. Anyway, I'm done insulting the guy. Lu Fan finally gets ready. Those people ain't looking like that if they weren't going to kill him. Lu Fan refuses the offer and turned away. But the three were still persisting, claiming that he doesn't understand the rules of the wilderness, that it was dangerous than he can ever imagine. Well, pretty sure he knows. You guys are very suspicious, you know. Like, these people are never going past the do they look like good people test. Anyway, Lu Fan came up with a clever excuse. He declared that he didn't need companions because he was a summoner. If there was any dangerous situation, he could just summon his elemental creatures. These lies seem to have worked quite well as the three were convinced and left. But this woman still won't let go Lu Fan easily, whispering flirtatious things to his ears and even pressing her chest. We know where you're looking, Lu Fan. She even sent a flying kiss. I'm burning that. Lu Fan walked away fast. He wasn't stupid enough to fall for such things. It was more dangerous to have such people with him than being alone. He needs to really get to the location if he wants to survive. He entered into the forest and met with some buffaloes. Oh wait, they are called power horn horse. There is no way that is a horse. Thankfully, they don't actively hunt humans, but if he does disturb them, he is going to be crushed. He turned around and just decided to take a detour rather than risking it. However, even if he has taken a longer route, it didn't really become any different. He was still surrounded by ugly horses. He was finally getting close until suddenly when he met this other weird creature, he stepped on a frog. It croaked so low that it disturbed the horses. Well, that frog ain't a chill guy. The ugly horses all looked at him and chased him. Well, he succeeded on disturbing them. Nice one. An achievement is an achievement. Lu Fan turned to his left and then took a leap of faith to the ground, like that would even work. But it is a good tactic. Wait, he's fine. How did that work? Are those horses blind too? Anyway, Lu Fan was once again depressed that he couldn't even handle such simple creatures. Then he looked at the map and found out he was there already. What a miracle. Such a cap out. He arrived on 2 stone hedges that was covering a glowing red light. He headed to that now turned cave. How magically lazy the artist was, and found a dragon egg. That was it. The thing that will change his fate. It was a black dragon egg that was coincidentally just about to hatch when he got there. So lucky. Wow. If only I can be sarcastic. AI problems. Anyway, something sneaked up behind him. He took out his cleaver and swung without looking. It hit the enemy on the mouth exactly. Wow, such a coincidence. It was a bloodthirsty gray fox. It looks more like a rabid rabbit than a fox. Lu Fan blocked with all his might. He then twisted his body and propelled the rabbit away. The gray fox was level 10 and had 2 skills. Humans are so weak. He's a level 10 and has 0 skills. Loser. He looked at the dragon expecting to hatch it, leaving him open to an attack like an idiot. So then he blocked with his hand, once again like an idiot, and got scratched up. Only scratched up. It seems it's a clash between idiots. The rabbit was going to attack again, and this time Lu Fan was ready to counterattack. The cleaver and the claws met, clashing into a blazing spark. The rabbit then prepared his other arm to attack as he floats in the air. Lu Fan then dodged, and it was the perfect opportunity to attack it. He swung down and stabbed its head to the ground. He was able to successfully kill it. Then behind the rocks, like it wasn't obvious to be seen in a plains area, the three appeared once again. They found out that Lu Fan was lying about being a summoner. He didn't use a single skill at all. He wasn't a summoner. They don't have anything to be scared of. Lu Fan was now cornered. He has no more excuse. He kicked the fox and told them if they wanted the fur, then take it. The dried up corpse picked the rabbit up and remarked that a rabbit wasn't what they wanted. What they wanted was the thing behind him. That egg. The buffed man and the bitch attacked together. Lu Fan was knocked down to the ground helplessly. He slid on the dirt until he stopped and was immediately threatened with a knife on his neck, while just staring at him for some reason. The buffed man walked out of the cave holding the egg. The wrinkled old man now got what he wanted. He ordered the bitch to kill Lu Fan, but as usual, it will take ages for them to move. And suddenly, as the knife moved slower than a snail, the egg cracked, then hatched. Something flew out of it. It was a baby dragon. It immediately dashed in to attack the two. The old man threw a green potion at the dragon, and it was able to dodge it easily. Then this buffed man faced eye head on, ready to attack it. The dragon opened its mouth and ate his entire chest body whole. His head and arms flew into the air and dropped to the ground. The dried old man was terrified. He was asking help from the bitch, screaming from the top of his ears. However, only Lu Fan wasn't scared. He was extremely surprised at the power of the dragon. Even when it was just a baby, it could already kill so easily. No wonder no human could tame it. The girl then acted surprised at the word dragon, like she's blind. What else can that creature look like? While she was shocked, the old man was eaten whole by the dragon. Was it yummy? Probably not. That man was all bones. Because of the bitch's terrified expression, Lu Fan was able to kick her and run away and headed to the dragon. He reached out his hand and activated his profession. The dragon was engulfed in a yellow light, shining like a bright whirlwind star. Lu Fan finally got his dragon. The bitch was begging for his life, but so what? Lu Fan ordered the dragon to deliver her to his comrades, and it ate her whole. Only her screams could be heard. After the genocide of 3 people, Lu Fan was patching himself up while the cute dragon was looking into his bag. Lu Fan picked up the dragon and raised it into the sky like it was his baby. He couldn't believe it. He actually got a dragon. He has crossed the bridge none of the past humans have. He can now level up and be incredibly strong. Skies ain't the limit. Dragon Tamer won't finally be called the weakest profession. Lu Fan was now thinking of what to call the dragon, but then it started to lick his blood. Red aura began to emanate from its body and it flew into the sky, flinging Lu Fan to the ground. From the red flames, a head popped out. It had a crimson hair, black horns, long ears like the elves, massive boobs. Wait, it turned into a woman, an adult woman. A loli was something I expected. An adult is more of a surprise than getting a call, then suddenly you're a father. What on earth just happened? Lu Fan just accepted that the dragon could transform into a human form. The dragon nodded in confirmation. We can already see that though, but it seems she can't speak, so we're clear on her being annoying. After getting his first dragon, his skills finally appeared in front of him. While he was looking to screen, the black dragon was just sniffing randomly, still acting like a baby dragon just in human form. She's so cute. After looking and analyzing his own stats, he then checked on the black dragon's stat. Worthy of being the strongest creature at just level 1, its stats were already around 10 times Lu Fan's stats. Not to mention its insane skills. Even a level 30 human won't be a problem to him with this dragon. Dragon Tamer was definitely among the 3 hidden professions, but no matter what profession that is, no human can win against the dragon race. Once again, Lu Fan was thinking of what to name the dragon, as she eats her own shell. It really is just if a human and animal switched bodies, basing it on a little dragon born under the night. He named it Xiao Ye, meaning little knight. The dragon squeaked at this name. Her first human appearance now seems over the top compared to this baby personality. Lu Fan patted Xiao Ye's head and asked if she was hungry. It was time to go hunting some monsters and leveling up. He can't go back just like that. Lu Fan marched forward. His dream was about to come through, but that doesn't mean he would just slack off. The two then headed deep into Mount Shi Basin. After a bit, they finally encountered the first monsters. The first ones to meet their destined deaths are your simple hyena. For the first time, they do look like their names. They are tougher than the wolf Lu Fan faced, but now with a dragon, he has nothing to fear. Xiao Ye rushed first into battle. This entire Mount Shi Basin is no match for this dragon and his tamer. Xiao Ye charged her breath and released a wave of fire, killing a ton of hyenas. Lu Fan was leveling up just by standing. However, if he wants to level up faster, he needs stronger opponents. Luckily, this world bends to his will and stronger opponents does arrive. Lions walk out of the burning bodies of the hyenas, not just any lion, it was a three-headed lion. One lion was worth more than 50 hyenas. It was a level 25 elite boss. Xiao Ye charged once again, the lion roared, giving itself a defense and attack power buff. Then it started charging up an attack fueled by the three heads. Lu Fan is a smart character and charged fast to interrupt the skill. Xiao Ye was enveloped in flames, spinning uncontrollably around her. Lu Fan jumped in the air and landed on top of the blazing Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye returned to her dragon form and bit one of the lion's head while grabbing the other two. They successfully interrupted the skill. Lu Fan then dropped from the air, landing a clean strike to the lion once more. In that one clean swoop, the lion was dead. Lu Fan's level increased by 2, that's bull, while Xiao Ye, returning to her human form, leveled up to level 9, which makes more sense, but still bull. After all that, the system notified Lu Fan once again that a new treasure map was given for him for the day. Excited, the two went ahead to go treasure hunting. Meanwhile, deep within Mount Shi Basin, let's take a detour and introduce some new side characters. There are 3 of them, and they are getting ready to raid a fortuitous realm. First, there's Chin Chu. She wants to raid the realm badly because it doesn't appear often. However, they don't have enough people to really raid it, replied Sun Jae, a warrior. He suggests that Miss Kai, yes, her name has Miss, to maybe go back and get some reinforcements. But she replied that even with her speed as a rogue, she won't be able to get back in less than a day. While rambling, they suddenly noticed a presence, and it was our protagonist, Lu Fan. He reassured the others that he was just passing by. You know where this is going. The warrior guy said that a material hunter shouldn't be this deep in Mount Shi Basin. Chin Chu stepped in to speak to Lu Fan. She introduced herself to be from the Qin family and asked if he was okay teaming up with them and entering the Fortune's secret realm. Afterwards, they'll pay him 100,000 dragon coins. Lu Fan was quite hooked on the request. On top with the money, for a realm that the richest family in Zhanghai City to be interested in such a realm, it was definitely not something simple. She exclaimed that she doesn't need to do anything and he gets 100,000 for free. Anyway, the realm needs 5 people to get in, so now only another one is needed. Wait a sec, who's that guy? What? Where did he come from? Okay, never mind then. Lu Fan didn't accept that easily though. He wasn't interested in money and wanted to go according to the rules, which was to allocate the rewards based on performance. Qin Kui was suspicious because Lu Fan looked quite weak compared to their average level 20 team. Qin Kui agreed and still placed the 100,000 in the deal. Lu Fan easily agreed to that, and so they departed. Lu Fan kept Xiao Ye inside his inventory for now as he thinks it would be a hassle for her identity to be known right now. It isn't though, but he do what he wants then. They arrived in a very desolate land with bald trees, dried land, and a creepy purple mist. The warrior asked Lu Fan about his equipment, and so he pulled out a new dagger that he got from the treasure map from earlier that he completed off-screen. Nice. After showing off that weapon, the warrior's perception of Lu Fan immediately changed. What an annoying guy. After walking a few steps, the enemies in the realm finally appeared from within the ground. They were zombies. What else could it be in such a zombie-coated land? The young guy that appeared suddenly charged first into the zombies, knocking them all away. The warrior guy slashed the zombies while the rogue shot a crossbow from the back. A knight for initiation, a warrior for the damage, and a rogue for support. The composition was a clear classic. Then the last one in them, the rich girl charged yellow streaks into her staff, initiating a rain of holy light from above, dealing damage and healing allies. What a broken ability. She was not just a simple profession, it was a hidden one just like Lu Fan, a holy light mage. But of course, compared to Lu Fan's, it was trash. The ground shook and more zombies popped out of the ground. Along with the normal zombies, elite ones also came with them, all at the level of 20, and it seems they dropped dragon coins. That's interesting. Probably their cash from when they were alive, lol. The warrior and the knight charged forward to act as a barrier for the front lines while the others stay safe at the back. Each of them attacked a zombie, but afterwards they couldn't draw out the weapon from the flesh. It was eating their weapons, absorbing it. Not only that, they were also poisoned. The knight was in a desperate situation and called the warrior for help, releasing his weapon and heading over immediately. They dropped down to the ground and the knight called the rogue to come cover them, but Lu Fan has finally stopped just watching and stepped forward. The enlarged zombie charged at Lu Fan while the warrior is just out here screaming for him to run away. Bask at the might of what a protagonist of a slop manhwa is like. Lu Fan took just one slash and the zombie was dead, then another slash and another. The four was shocked at the prowess of this young man. Qin Kui seems to have fallen in love, girl. How shallow is your heart, damn? Anyway, Lu Fan wiped all the zombies instantly and even handed the weapon back to the warrior just for the cool factor. The warrior really can't believe a student like him was so powerful and asked just how high his level was. Lu Fan just revealed that he was only a level 14. How did he not even level up from all that bullshit? Anyway, and that he was there just to practice for the great exam, which it seems they were in the same year as Qin Kui. While she was healing the knight, a zombie popped out from the wall behind her, but of course, our Lu Fan got it in the bag, just one stab and it was dead. Now that he has shown his prowess, he told them that he will now take the lead because they are way too weak, duh. Qin Kui accepted, not like she can refuse though. Lu Fan revealed his name and he headed deeper into the village without even looking back, while the four are here struggling to come along because of that useless knight who is acting like such a weakling right now. Qin Kui recognized the name easily and knew that he was the recently appeared dragon tamer. In the middle of the village, they were all fighting the zombies except for Qin Kui, which was just babysitting the knight guy. While the warrior was fighting the zombies, the realm guardian finally appeared behind them. It was an iron-skinned zombie, level 20. That's interesting, but this seems to be weaker than the lion from earlier, but oh well. Common sense doesn't apply to these stories. The warrior attacked the zombies, but because it was covered in iron, his attack did absolutely nothing. Lu Fan also stepped up, aiming for the zombie's head, cracking it. However, the zombie's goal wasn't Lu Fan, it was the knight guy. Because of the corpse poison, it was trying to combine with that guy to complete its power. Lu Fan used one of the dagger's skill, and his arm was covered in dragon flesh. Qin Kui casted her buffed spell just as Lu Fan was heading to the zombie, landing a clean strike to its chest. After the attack, half of its body was literally hollowed out, but even that wasn't enough. The zombie used fusion absorption to absorb humans cursed in corpse poison to grow as big as it is now. Its main body was wrapped somewhere inside of it. For some reason, the head started opening and the main body finally appeared. Is that one-eyed Megamind? A wannabe goat will always just be a wannabe. Lu Fan once again charged and attacked the main body immediately, grabbing its head and burning it into ashes. The zombie exploded as Lu Fan arrives, for the cool factor of course. After the death of the zombie, a chest appeared on its corpse. Qin Kui apologized for doubting Lu Fan's skill at the beginning, but she would definitely abide to the agreement and let him have the distribution he deserved. Qin Kui opened the chest. Inside were strength and antidote potions with bracelet that increases strength and endurance. They were quite disappointed with the reward, even Lu Fan was suspicious of it. Anyway, Qin Kui gave Lu Fan all the things inside the chest because he was the one who did almost all the work. What was strange though was that despite the boss being killed, there was still no return portal. Well, that could only mean one thing. With Lu Fan's appraisal skills, he was able to see that the dungeon had 3 bosses, and that the iron-skinned zombie was just the first one of them. Qin Kui supported his sentence by sensing a dark presence from within the thick purple mist. It was at the lakeside of the village. Deep under the lake, something dark was breathing. Its tentacles escaped from its body, swimming to the top of the water. Red eyes opened at every surface of the tentacles. Many of them escaped the water. There were hands attached to each tentacles. After walking to the lakeside, they just go back and run again. What idiots lacking brains, you could have just sent one guy forward, you know. Anyway, the hands attacked the warrior and it was immediately beaten. He couldn't even hold a second. The hands were now after Qin Kui and as usual, Lu Fan comes to save the lady. He grabbed onto her and carried her away. You can see that blush on her face, like come on, can't be more obvious. They rolled on the ground safely, thankfully. However, the enemy ain't gonna wait for them like before. The main body escaped the water. They all looked back in fear. It was a sphere of flesh surrounding a black-haired woman. This was the real boss. I'm guessing it isn't. The warrior came in front, still forcing himself to fight. Brother, you can't just give up. A hand attacked the warrior, and he was able to hold it back this time. Lu Fan was going to be the one attacking once again, because of course, only he can. Anyway, the enemy was still a mutated zombie, so as long as there was a main body, he just needs to kill that. The boss used a debuff skill, lowering all stats by 20%, but that won't stop Lu Fan. He jumped up to attack the head. However, there are chains stopping him from getting any closer. The boss even attacked the others immediately after dealing with Lu Fan. While Lu Fan was falling, he was trapped in the air and has no way of dodging the hand, but thankfully the rogue helped him attack the hand's eye, stopping it for a second. This allowed Lu Fan to grab onto the chains and jump back to the ground to help the others. The zombie used another chain skill, surrounding Lu Fan in chains. He used the sword skill once again and broke all the chains apart. After getting out of that predicament, the warrior suggested that they retreat for now. Qin Kui also agreed, they can't handle it right now. Lu Fan told them to all retreat and he would be left to handle the zombie. They all agreed, realizing they were all just useless, so they left. Now that they are gone, Lu Fan created a portal and finally called out the one thing that will kill that zombie. It was Xiao Ye, obviously. Oh my! What the hell? How did she get so big? She was just a baby. What the? The others were in shock at the sight of a dragon. Xiao Ye charges on the zombie and eats it like a snack. All the attacks of the zombie are just destroyed by Xiao Ye easily. And just like that, it's dead. These four are all flabbergasted, and Qin Kui finally accepted that he really was the rumored dragon Tamer. A flashback happened about the boss, but that's boring, so let me just give you a TLDR. 300 years ago, she was just an orphan who wanted to save everyone that is sick. But then she became a witch and can only summon spirits to say goodbye to them. So the knights chained her and threw her into the lake where she stands now. Back to real time, the portal still hasn't appeared. That means that the boss was still alive. As Lu Fan guessed, it really was. The woman jumped out of the water and made a new body made out of water, making her grow much stronger. Going to phase 2 of the boss, it started to spew out water bubbles everywhere. Lu Fan was able to stay safe by hiding under Xiao Ye, while the others struggled to attack the bubble, realizing it was immune to all physical attacks. After such knowledge, the rogue finally lost all hope of surviving and apologized to her lady for being so powerless. Qin Kui was also losing hope, apologizing that she should have never insisted coming in. Obviously, only Lu Fan hasn't given up. Qin Kui argued that she was the only one with magic attacks, but she's too low-leveled to even damage the boss. However, Lu Fan also can't deal damage to the boss, but Xiao Ye can. The others are worried that Lu Fan's level is far too low, but that's only for human standards, not the peak of all beings. The zombie boss let out another unavoidable curse on them, but it doesn't even matter. Using one of Lu Fan's profession skill, he increased the stat of Xiao Ye and she used lava blaze, spewing a continuous flow of flames forward. The boss, despite being made of water and being on water, burned to ashes and then exploded. Her soul disappeared and only a chest was left behind. Both Lu Fan and Xiao Ye leveled up from that. If they didn't, I would crash out, cause after all of that, Lu Fan only leveled up once. After so many monsters of level 20, can't China do math? Anyway, the zombies in the village were resurrected, but Xiao Ye had it in the bag by transforming back into her human form and using lava blaze once again, incinerating all the zombies. The warrior and Qin Kui are both so shocked at how easily she killed the zombies they all struggled so hard to kill. Lu Fan appeared to introduce Xiao Ye, a black dragon. He then turned around and went over to the chest. He reassured them that they should not be tense anymore. The boss was already dead. After distributing the rewards, they can leave. Based on the agreed deal, he asked if there were any to object to him choosing the first treasure. Well, no one would object or they'll all die. Lu Fan opened the chest and this time good stuffs did appear. However, the reward does look very rigged as one of the drops is a holy light staff. The others were also all good, but Lu Fan decided to choose a class change scroll. Class equals profession. They mean the same, okay? Qin Kui was quite disturbed with his choice because he doesn't really need that. But Lu Fan was really sure about it, he really needed that. However, to be honest, he should get it all though, the others did jack shit. Qin Kui was nice enough to give another one of the dropped items to Lu Fan, and he happily accepted. But seriously, you guys did nothing. This isn't a bus. There was one more scene of Qin Kui being curious about Lu Fan, you know what that means, and after that, Lu Fan was finally back home. He was immediately greeted by his aunt with another full hug. This time he didn't blush, so that's good. Lu Fan wanted his auntie to get off him because he hasn't bathed in a long time and was quite dirty. However, his auntie said he wasn't dirty at all. Let me just note, why is it in this translation the "not" is censored? What in the hell? Anyway, Lu Fan wiped Han Ke's tears away like she was his younger sister, like seriously chill. Beside them at the floor, Han Ke patted Xiao Ye just sitting on the ground like a pet. even waggling her tail from being patted. Then Lu Fan finally gave the class change scroll to his aunt, the one he chose over other good stuff in the chest, all for his aunt. So sweet and predictable fluff. However, Han K didn't want to accept such a valuable thing. Lu Fan was going on and on about how he left his weapon and equipment to Qin Kui. Wait, what? When and why did he do that? So they needed the money to buy him a new one. Seriously, why? But Lu Fan showed his bank account and reassured her that he was fine with money for now. He can buy any equipment he wanted. Han K is shocked at the sudden amount. It seems he sold everything to Qin Kui for money. But does that include his dagger? Hello? Lu Fan gave the scroll to his aunt again, and finally she accepted and she used it immediately. It glowed a slight blue hue, and she was enveloped in strings of blue as the scroll evaporates into air. After the cutscene was over, she has now become an enchantment chef, a hidden profession of the chef, which was a profession that allows one to add buffs into food. A very overpowered profession. Meanwhile, Xiao Ye was sleeping after eating a ton of baozi. Cut to the study of the Qin family villa. Qin Ku was talking with his father about Lu Fan, the dragon tamer that saved them. Qin Ku then went on to glaze him for being very powerful and the power differences between them despite both being a hidden profession. He then mentioned the dragon, asking her if she told anyone else about it because such knowledge could throw the world into chaos. The power of a dragon is something anyone would want to covet. Qin Kui was worried his father would be the same. Then why tell him? You idiot hypocrite. I don't know if that's hypocritical. Well, Qin Shanhai wasn't such a man, so there wasn't any worry. He then asked if there was anything else Qin Kui was planning to give as thanks to Lu Fan and suggested giving him a purple tongue card personally the next day. She invited his father to come too, but he had something to attend tomorrow morning and it was about Princess, a brat. Just looking at her, you already know she is one annoying son of a bitch. After arriving in the country, her first destination was the shop of Han K, where our protagonist currently resides in. After hearing a knock, Han K went out to see who was outside. It was two people, a brat and a black armored guy wearing the same armor as the past warrior Gay, but instead, it's just black now. They didn't even acknowledge Han K and just shoved her to the side. Oh, what shit, people! She orders her to reveal the man named Lu Fan. Then due to the commotion, Lu Fan came down seeing how his aunt was hurt. The brat presented herself to be a princess, more like an immature, pampered kid who knows nothing but to be arrogant because their parents are immoral bitches who can't be there to show love to their child. Anyway, she was there to offer Lu Fan a breakthrough. I won't even tell you guys her name, just know it's Brat, and the guy's name is the brat's dog. Anyway, once again, Lu Fan asked what she meant by breakthrough, and then the brat mentioned how being a dragon tamer must be tough. And so as long he agreed to her terms, she would offer a dragon egg to him. Then she declared that the conditions are simple. He just needed to be a slave to her. Oh, come on! But here's the thing. The brat continued to claim the dragon egg was an armored dragon's egg, the only dragon egg in the world. However, one fact about armored dragons is that they are a land dragon, even lower than a wyvern. It means it's sub-dragon species, useless. Daring to call something that can't even fly a dragon, it was a dragon that does boast its strong defense, but that's it. And she dares call it a dragon? Dragons fly, bitch. That's just a lizard covered in dirt. Lu Fan sarcastically complimented the dragon egg, saying that the attributes were quite good. Debatable. The brat was quite speechless, looking at Lu Fan like she's a dumb person, where she is the one that's dumber than a rock. She once again claims stupid things about how a dragon tamer is useless without a dragon, that if he takes that armored dragon, he can become the first in history, like that's some shit. Lu Fan obviously refused such a deal. The brat can't accept it, this bitch. Once again, Lu Fan said he would not take it and be a slave who would even accept that. He told them to leave this instant. The brat's dog retaliated at rejected such a chance of prominence and even being disrespectful to his brat princess. But Lu Fan won't be anyone's slave, that's final, these jokes. The brat ordered her dog to attack Lu Fan and teach him a lesson. Oh, what a mistake! Han K tried to stop the fight, but then she was slapped in the face to the ground. These bastards! Lu Fan immediately rushed to his aunt, leaving his back open. The brat's dog took this opening and tried to attack him from behind, but Lu Fan was ready to fight. The moment the sword appeared, the brat's dog realized something was off about Lu Fan and backed off. Right, you should. If anyone is going to hurt his family, he will kill them. Lu Fan looked at the brat and smacked her in the face. Damn right, that's satisfying as fuck. The dog went ahead to attack Lu Fan once again, but his weapon was easily disarmed by Lu Fan. What a weakling this dog is. The dog then backed off and checked on his princess. getting a smack on the face as a return. "You deserve that, you bastard," she ordered to once again kill Lu Fan. Oh, this getting tiring. Cut to the outside, Qin Kui was trying to call Lu Fan because she was headed to his place. Then behind her, an explosion happened and the dog came out of the smoke on the street. The brat's dog dropped to the ground and admitted his weakness and incompetence. The brat got mad and tried to pull of a smirk and activated her power of dark magic. She was also a hidden class, an advanced spiritual witch. In the middle of the commotion, Qin Kui appeared. Well, that scene is quite useless. Anyway, the brat's dog got an insane buffed, his eyes turned fully red. He has turned into a mindless monster. Qin Kui tried to help, but like what? You protecting the guy stronger than you? Can never understand that trope. So of course, the moment the dog attacked, Lu Fan stepped up while Qin Kui just stood in fear. The dog landed on the ground, launching Lu Fan away. The two were quite ecstatic at the sight, but like what part really? Nothing even happened yet other than property damage. Now it was time for their happiness to turn into fear. Xiao Ye dropped from the second floor window and transformed into her dragon form. Look at that terrified look. Perfect. The brat tried to apply a debuff to Xiao Ye, but just a single roar and her skill was already interrupted. It wouldn't work either way as Xiao Ye was immune to all debuffs. Xiao Ye smashed the dog to the ground and threw him away. Just one move and he was crawling on all fours like the dog he is. Lu Fan marched slowly, intimidating the brat. She wanted to kill him. "Now what you gonna do, you bitch?" But instead of apologizing, she was condemning Lu Fan for attacking her and her dog, threatening him of the consequences. Lu Fan won't let it be that easily. A threat? He doesn't care. He is ready to kill her no matter who she is. Xiao Ye began to charge her fireball, but then another annoying plot came up. Someone in Griffin called upon Lu Fan's name, telling him to stop. Xiao Ye directed her fireball at Qin Shanhai, but Lu Fan ordered her to stop it. Qin Shanhai dropped down from his griffin and asked for Lu Fan to retract his dragon because his griffin was terrified of it. LOL, at least the griffin knows how to have fear. Lu Fan made Xiao Ye turn back to her human form and the conflict was stopped. Bullshit. Anyway, Han Ke didn't really want the fight to continue either, so she told Lu Fan that Qin Shanhai can, or might be able to stop the entire conflict from escalating further, but Lu Fan has a feeling it won't stop that easily. I don't either, and that's from the basic common sense of how these stories go. Qin Shanhai walked in through the destroyed wall and joked how Lu Fan caused him trouble on their first meeting. "Oh boy, don't you even dare, that's a first warning or I'll be calling you a flat-faced blobfish." Han Ki asked about how the situation will be handled and Qin Shanhai would handle it himself. He was quite high in the upper echelon of the kingdom. However, even with that reassurance, she was still scared of Lu Fan getting into trouble. Well, Lu Fan couldn't care less. Even with immense power, he won't compromise his dignity for a stupid subspecies dragon egg. Qin Shanhai reassured Lu Fan again that he would handle it. He shouldn't worry about a thing. However, he does have a condition. It's reasonable one this time around, and it was just for him to win the South Province Grand Exam and be the champion. Only if he becomes someone important can he truly help him, but like, come on, dragons are so glazed. If he loses this, I'm ending the video. Shortcut to the brat, she's still alive, of course, and she's ordering her people to kill Lu Fan. Obviously, she won't let it go. The next day, before the grand exam at Lu Fan's school playground, the students are all talking together, telling stories about their recent meager achievements. When Lu Fan arrived, all attention focused on him. They are all insulting him because of his supposed worthless class. The principal finally appeared at the stage once again and announced the beginning of the grand exam. Anyway, Lu Fan was thinking about his system, specifically the maps he has been receiving. All of them have been intermediate tier, so he hasn't been able to go out at all and go anywhere. If they were combined though, that's when he can finally move. Lu Fan's teacher came to him and gave him a teleportation stone. It was used as a sort of emergency forfeit device. His teacher went away after giving him an advice to be careful and look for teammates so he doesn't get into too much danger. Forming a team means the scores will be divided though, so it won't be useful for him as that will hinder his plan to get first place. Qin Kui then appeared with her teammate and greeted Lu Fan. Then of course she asked him if he wanted to team up with them for the trial, but Lu Fan rejected it as he did want to go alone for the purpose of getting first place and removing carriers to take his score. Qin Kui understands she will be a hindrance to Lu Fan, so she wasn't too forceful about but was sad, you know why. Her teammate was quite confused on why she asked the weakest profession to team up. She didn't know the monster Lu Fan really was. Qin Kui replied that Lu Fan was strong enough that he is guaranteed to take first place. Then her friend teased her for falling for Lu Fan. Don't even deny it, it's just true. When they all entered the portal, they were teleported to some barren land with a cloudy night sky. The principal appeared on a giant hologram screen in the sky and announced some exposition. The portals in the sky are divided into 4 levels: normal, hard, fear, and nightmare. When the portals open, they can enter using the teleportation stone. The normal level includes holograms for enemies, the hard one has real monsters. The fear level are more ferocious monsters, not recommended for solo challengers. For the nightmare one, it's so dangerous they don't even mention it. On the ground, a lowly person calls upon the principal and declares that the highest score would be his. He was Hong Woo, a student from high school number 1, one of the top 5 in the province, a Qigong master, someone who practices movement arts, but I don't expect that to be the normal case in such a series. Everyone cheered him on, easily accepted their defeat of taking the first place. Inside the principal's office, the number 1 middle school principal agreed that he would be the top scorer. He also pointed that Chin Kui could also take top 3. If he thinks that girl can, then Lu Fan is taking this first prize like taking a candy from a kid. The third high school principal was quite disappointed that Lu Fan didn't awaken a better profession, or he would have taken first place. Don't worry you bitch, he would. Inside the room, Qin Shinhai already has someone else in mind for the first place. He told everyone that it would be Lu Fan who takes first place. Then they are wondering what he's even doing because all the other students have gone in except him. The first principal laughed at Qin Shinhai's comment. Then they showed a ranking that Hong Woo was already at the 4th floor of the fear difficulty. Only 4? Weak. Then the third principal noticed that Lu Fan wasn't giving up by waiting. He was just waiting for the opening of the 4th difficulty, the nightmare difficulty. They tried to stop him, but nothing's stopping this guy, lol. The last person who challenged nightmare difficulty was 8 years ago, and he was eaten and died miserably. Well, let's just see and wait till these men all die from shock. Unlike the other 2 principal, Qin Shinhai was extremely confident that Lu Fan was going to win, not the Murim wannabe guy. The third principal asked where the confidence came from until he realized something. Lu Fan arrived at the 1st floor and it was a place surrounded by tree roots that have crawled above ground and a thick mist covered the surroundings. The first enemy that appeared were wolves, only level 10. It charged at Lu Fan and he got ready. Then with just one activation of his skill, the wolves all died, clearing the 1st floor in 1 hit, technically. The first principal was so shocked he stood up from his chair. The third principal knew it, he found a dragon and tamed it. With just 1 floor, he went up to 2nd place. While the principals were confused, shocked, and flabbergasted, someone broke into the room. He introduced himself to be Qian Xian, a special envoy from Longdu. He came here to bring someone to Longdu for investigation. Name? Lu Fan. It was another one of the brat's dogs. Inside the secret realm, something beyond common sense was happening. That wasn't a setup, it really was nonsensical. Lu Fan combined all his past intermediate treasure maps to create a dive level, and coincidentally that map is a map of the test secret realm he was in. Wow, so lucky. After exploring more, he found the treasure. It was a skill book, Growth Acceleration, which increases his experience gain of his pet by 100%. It was perfect for Xiao Ye. Back at the principal room, Qian Xian was insisting to stop the trial for Lu Fan to take him away this instant. The third principal rebuked that even if it was an important matter, he should wait till the end of the major exam first. But Qian Xian didn't accept. Then Qin Shinhai stepped in and grabbed his arm to stop him. He flung his hand away, telling him not to interfere with his mission. If he interferes any long, the higher-ups of Longdu would be displeased. Oh, who cares about some old people? Then once again, he ordered the third principal to get Lu Fan out of the mission and bring him over this instant. Qin Shinhai then lit up his cigarette for the cool factor and declared that when Lu Fan's secret is exposed, no higher power can stop him. As long as he was there, no one's taking Lu Fan away. Due to the disagreement, the 2 was ready to fight, but the third principal stopped the 2 and it just worked surprisingly. Once Qian Xian saw that Lu Fan was challenging the nightmare mode, he was stooped to a statue. He was enraged and confused. But then, while watching on the screen, Lu Fan raised his arms and summoned Xiao Ye out. This was the secret. He is the only dragon tamer in history to actually have a true, pure dragon. Everyone was shocked at the power of the dragon, understandably so. After just a few minutes, he was able to climb to the 13th floor and ear the 1st place solely because of the large points given in the nightmare mode. He was also clearing it all in one fell swoop. After seeing this, Qian Xian finally realized why Qin Shinhai didn't care about some old higher-up power. Back to the main character, finally sorry about that. The enemies inside, no matter what, with just a single breath from Xiaoye, they are all incinerated to ashes. They cleared the floors like this and easily leveled up. With the two of them, they can conquer this tower easy as pie. Transitioning to the 50th floor of the tower, Hongwu was celebrating killing the singular boss of the 50th floor and being proud of reaching such a height, while Lu Fan was just chilling as 3 bosses spawns on his 50th floor. While fighting in the tower, Xiaoye gained another form of herself, the World Ender form, a form focused on soul physical prowess. Xiaoye's body was engulfed in a pure red thick aura, turning into an armored black dragon. Xiaoye easily crushes the golems with a single bite. The next golem came to attack Lu Fan, and he jumped into the air to dodge as Xiaoye came to just slap it into ashes. This time, they easily clear the 50th stage too. Then they leveled up. Once, after all those floors, what in the fuck is this world's fucked up leveling system bullshit? Okay, I said I wouldn't care anymore, my bad. Anyway, the secret realm has a secret function after you go past the 50th floor, which was known as the X+1 function. It meant that any floor with a lot of ordinary monster from that point on will have a boss monster. But that only applies to the other 3. For the nightmare, it meant that every floor onward will have a boss, but not just one boss. It increases exponentially. I hardly doubt they can do math though, so Lu Fan has it in the bag. In just a matter of minutes, Lu Fan was already able to clear the 71st floor. He knew it became harder after the 50th, but with Xiaoye it wasn't even worth mentioning at all. 76th floor cleared. 83rd floor cleared. Lu Fan was not lacking behind from the others anymore. He was far ahead of everyone, and is on the run to be the only candidate capable of reaching the 100th floor. But as the first principal was saying that the 99th floor would be incredibly hard, Lu Fan then entered the 99th floor exactly in time. On the dark chamber with an empty throne, 4 knights were beside guarding it. The unlit torches begun to lit up with blue flames. Those 4 knights were the boss of this floor, the Headless Knight, level 55. This is definitely the most powerful one he's faced yet. Thankfully, there is one handicap of the enemies. Even with 4 of them, all share the same health. The Headless Knights moved first with a downward strike on the ground, ruining the terrain. Lu Fan charged and focused to attack just one of them. He was attacked with a barrage while in the air, but he expertly parried all of them and landed a clear hit to the golem, cutting it in half. But despite it feeling and looking like he did cut the knight in half, it just regenerated instantly. Due to this, Lu Fan was attacked from behind he could only block. He has tested the waters, and so it's now time for Xiaoye to take a turn. She smashed the knight and even resulted to the destruction of the entire castle's exterior. The inside is okay though. Why? I don't know. Anyway, another knight was already at Lu Fan's ass. He blocked the incoming attack, but then there was another one behind him and also above. Lu Fan jumped high up in the air to dodge, then Xiaoye charged her fireball while Lu Fan was in front of him, for cool factor of course. The entire ground was incinerated in fire. Let me point out, Xiaoye has 2 combat forms and she shouldn't be able to use lava flame in this form, but oh well, guess she got more overpowered off camera. It's just like your Minecraft friend when you leave them overnight. It took just 1 fire and once again all the knights burned to death. The 99th floor was cleared just like that. Once again, after defeating a boss with a level 4 times higher than her, Xiaoye only leveled up once. How great! I think these level experiences growth is steeper than the decline of the world's economy. That's a joke. No way anything steeper than that. Lu Fan finally reached the 100th floor and it was more ridiculous than the previous one. It was another throne room, but this time the throne wasn't empty. Not only are the 4 knights back, but their king and the entire army was now here. But to be honest, I don't know why Lu Fan even fights if it just takes 1 fire from Xiaoye. He's just trying to cope that he's useless too. The boss this time, along with his undead army, was the World Annihilation, Emperor, a level 60 boss. Xiaoye gained a new skill after leveling up to 15 and it was Cataclysm. An overpowered skill with a long-ass description that just basically sums up to nuclear bomb. Xiaoye began to transform into a new form once again. She spreads her wings wide and her entire shoulder was replaced with blazing fire. This ain't a dragon anymore, it's a kaiju, damn. I get why they are feared now. This is just level 15, is she going to be an eldritch horror at level 30? The enemies finally started to attack, but like, what are they going to achieve at this point? Xiaoye flew to the enemies enveloped in constant flames. Lu Fan was holding himself together waiting for Xiaoye to get into a good position. Then when Xiaoye was in the middle of everyone, she blasted her new skill, literally reducing the legion's number by hundreds every second. The principals aren't even just purely shocked anymore, they were questioning life itself. That dragon could kill them, lol. While the Legion was being destroyed, the four knights finally made their move and sneaked in to attack the defenseless Lu Fan. Well, he won't be for long. He called for Xiao Ye to come to him, and the four were killed instantly once again. This is like paper trying to fight a forest fire. It won't, there's just no way. Lu Fan was about to reach 1,000,000 points, which according to the principal hasn't been broken in 30 years. That doesn't mean Lu Fan is weaker though, he ain't even struggling. Sweating he is though from all that fire. Anyway, with all the minions gone, there was just one enemy left, the Emperor. He charged ahead and exchanged a blow with Lu Fan while Xiao Ye was charging up her skill once again. Does that thing have no cooldown? Then Xiao Ye flapped for wings, flinging the Emperor away. When he landed on the ground, energy started to seep away from his body. He was getting weaker because of Lu Fan's ring. That's just bullying at this point, bruh. Xiao Ye released tornadoes of fire to the Emperor, keeping him in an inescapable prison, and then Lu Fan went ahead and kill-steal the Emperor by stabbing him in the heart. Just like that, the nightmare level exam was finished.